Access hatches are commonly found on boats, caravans and motorhomes. They are either used to cover a storage compartment or to give access to various parts of a boat, such as the fuse box or pipework. They all serve the purpose of creating a seal to keep the contents dry and free from dirt. This is only possible by having a reliable watertight seal that compresses when the hatch lid is closed. These rubber seals are available in many different shapes, styles and sizes. Although most hatches only have one seal, the hatch we have here has multiple seals, so it'll be good for showing different seal replacements. I'm going to show you how to measure and identify each of these profiles and then fit each of the replacement sections. Edge trims are a fairly common seal found on most enclosures and hatches. There are three main types of edge trim. We've got a standard edge trim, an edge trim with side seal, and an edge trim with top seal. All of these products are manufactured with a metal or plastic reinforced self-gripping spine. This allows them to hold themselves onto the panel edge without the need for glue or mechanical fixings. Side seals and top seals also have a spun sealing bulb that compresses to create a watertight seal. This sealing bulb is located on either the side or the top on the section, depending on which way the lid closes onto the profile. If we take a look at our hatch, we can see that we're going to need an edge trim with side seal. This is because we have a horizontal edge and the lid closes down onto the side of the profile. Before you can identify a replacement edge trim, you need to measure the thickness of the panel edge that the new section will clip over. So before we can do that, we need to remove our current seal. This is usually very straightforward, and it's just a case of pulling it off the edge and then pulling it all the way around the aperture until it becomes loose. So we recommend you use a vernier so you can get a precise measurement of the thickness of this edge. This will allow you to purchase a product that is large enough to clip over the panel edge, but is not too loose and risks falling off. So we should take this measurement in millimeters as well, so we can get an accurate measurement and then cross-reference the measurement we take with the dimensions on our website. So if I measure this in a few different places, I can see that it is quite a consistent 1.6 mil thick. So we know that our panel edge is 1.6 mil thick, so we need to find a replacement edge trim that adequately fits over a 1.6 mil thick panel. We will also need to measure the sealing bulb on our current seal before we can find a new product that adequately fills the gap that we're trying to seal. In the same way of how we measured our panel thickness, we should do so with a vernier so that we can get an accurate measurement. So if we were to measure the sealing bulb on this trim, we'll do its width and its height. I can see that it is roughly 10 mil in diameter. So we need to find a new product that fits onto a 1.6 mil panel edge and roughly has a 10 mil diameter sealing bulb. You may find that the current seal on your trim has badly distorted. This happens when it's been overcompressed or it's just generally old. So we will still need to try and take a measurement of this. The best way to do it is just to squeeze it so that it resembles a rough circle in what was probably its original form. Then you can use a vernier to then take a measurement whilst you are squashing it into a roughly a circle shape. If you don't have the previous seal, which actually happens quite often, you will need to measure the gap which you need to seal. In most cases, this is very difficult, as getting inside the hatch so you can take an accurate measurement is impossible when you close the lid. The best way to do this is if you can find a fairly large piece of blue tack. If you open the door, you can put the blue tack onto the lip. When you then close the door, this will squash the blue tack to the precise size of the gap, so that when you open the lid, you can remove the blue tack and then you can measure its thickness, and this will essentially give you the gap between the lid and the frame when the door is closed. It's also worth noting that to get the best seal, we recommend compressing the spun sealing bulb by around 30%. This reduces the chance of compression set and also ensures that you're going to create an adequate seal. To give you an example, if we have a gap of 10 mil, you will want to find a sealing bulb which is roughly 15 mil high. So by the time you close the lid, that will squash the 15 down to 10, i.e. a third, to then create a good seal. Fitting a replacement edge trim is a fairly straightforward process. Once you have measured the thickness of the panel edge that the seal will clip over and the diameter of the sealing bulb on the existing seal, you can order a new product from our website at sealsdirect.co.uk. To fit this profile, you will need to cut it to the correct length, but before you do so, you should measure around the aperture so you can work out how much you need. We recommend that you cut the seal slightly over length, so that once you fit it, you can get a nice tight compression fit on the two ends to reduce the chance of water ingress. You can then push the trim, so we want to push the edge trim part over the edge and continue all the way around the aperture. So we've gone all the way around the aperture until we get to the ends, then it's going to bend it back on itself and then push it flat. So we've got a really tight fit between the two ends. It's also fairly common to find a rubber extrusion on your enclosure or hatch. These are available in an almost endless variety of shapes and sizes, depending on the specific hatch that you're trying to seal. A few of the common types are what we have here. So on the outside, this is commonly found on caravans and motorhomes, and essentially it's a triangular shape. So this usually goes around three sides of the hatch, so just not at the bottom. And on the inside, we have a fairly generic glazing seal. So these are normally found on like UPVC windows and doors, but it's also used on this hatch here. So both of these profiles have a foot. So this allows them to hold themselves into the channel without the need for glue or fixings. It is hollow, so it can compress as it goes in. And then once it's got past the initial opener, it opens up and then gives a nice tight fit. So the seal, there's no risk of the seal coming off. In a similar way to edge trims, you will need to look at the way in which the door closes against the seal to identify a replacement product. In most cases, you will have the foot at the bottom with a sealing bulb on top, so that when it is pushed in, the door will close or it will push down onto the lid from the top direction. It is worth checking though, as there's many different hatches available, so it's not to say that your hatch operates in the same way. You also need to take a good look at your seal, so you are very familiar with its shape and size, and take some measurements of this. This will allow you to then have a look at our website at sealsdirect.co.uk to then identify a product which is very similar to what you currently have. Once you have purchased a replacement product, fitting a new seal should be a relatively quick and straightforward process. We have two different types of rubber extrusions on this hatch, so I can demonstrate the process of fitting two different profiles. This section is very similar to what we have on UPVC windows and doors. Although it doesn't match what we had on the hatch exactly, it's got the same size foot, so it will hold itself into the channel, and the same diameter sealing bulb, so it will compress to create a good seal when closed. To fit this profile, you need to remove the existing section, which we've already done, and then you just push the foot into the channel and work your way all the way around the edge. And when you get to the end, you want to ensure a nice tight butt fit so there's no gap between the two ends. This section also has a third profile, which is similar to what we find on caravans and motorhomes. This one will push into the channel in the same way, but it just doesn't go on the bottom section. So it'll go around the left, the top, and the side, and it'll just push in exactly the same way as what we've just done here. All of these products are available from our website at sealsdirect.co.uk. They can be ordered by the meter or in larger quantities. You quite often find with a small hatch, if you just have one on your boat, you may only need a couple of meters, but we're more than happy to cut and supply you for that length. We also have a large range of other technical help documents and videos of how to fit other rubber seals, other edge trims, and other gaskets that may be worth watching if this doesn't quite suit the project which you're trying to complete. Thank you.